Thank you for watching Valor Studios on YouTube. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, and turn on notifications.
Where we last left off, our intrepid heroes were on the light of day, venturing into a distant world when all of a sudden, ship begins to rattle and rock, a creaking and a groaning and a snapping of the spine, and they realize they are trapped in the gravity well of a black hole. You stand in the observation deck, mid-ship. Racing towards the wheelhouse, the captain bellows out everyone to their stations. The creaking and the groaning of the ship's hull echoing throughout the very fragile feeling light of day. Do you follow the captain? You follow the captain up into the wheelhouse, where he begins barking commands and seizing the wheel, trying to steer the ship dramatically out of the path of the looming void in front of him. But there's no response from the engines. He calls out into a small brass pipe with a horn at the end of it, and he goes, "Engine room, I need more power." Silence. Turns and looks back at you. He says, "Get down to the boilers, find out what's going on. If there's something the matter, they might need extra hands. Either return to your staterooms or stick with one of the crew. It'll be safer that way."
Well, this is not the thing I expected when being on a ship such as yours. But,
Very incisive, Miss Iris. Staring into a black hole was not what I expected either.
Still, yes, I would say so. I hope that you were able to get it fixed. What can I do to help? I mean, I suppose I am quite a bit of an expert at the things that I do. So...
There's a problem below deck. Would you look into it for me?
You want me to go below deck?
Where I found you a moment ago.
Aren't you an expert?
Yes, well, right, I am. Yes, I will go below decks and save the day. And she turns on her heel and walks off and leaves to go below deck.
Well, Corin, do you stay up here on the bridge? You go investigate with the mechanic and keep an eye on any of the passengers here?
Captain, I'll head to find our passenger to make sure she is safe.
Excellent.
And he's looking for, I believe, Hester. Yep.
Hester? Okay.
Yes.
Hester, where are you?
Hester is not gonna go down below decks because the historian knows too much.
So are you gonna just stay up here on the bridge?
I think I'm gonna stay up here on the bridge. My thought process is that if there's any stuff going on that might be sabotage, maybe the captain would speak with me if less people are here about that.
Okay.
It's probably not, but in case it is, this is probably a slightly better place for me to be.
right.
And I don't know, maybe there's additional aid that can be given up here.
Your options are pretty open there, Bronwyn. What are you going to be doing during the chaos that ensues?
So I was already on my way up to see the captain. I'm kind of like skulking around
Mm-hmm.
like 15 to 20 feet behind him at all times, like a little like shadow kind of
Right.
spying on him. So I imagine when he went downstairs, I'd probably already just be up at the bridge when he went down to.
Okay, so you're up here when he arrived.
Yeah.
And currently he is wrestling with the ship's wheel, big, large brass contraption, mounted to the deck, much like an old pirate ship's wheel, but it's connected to a series of chains and gears which go deep down into the various subsystems within the ship. And a change in the position of the wheel will change the flaps and the rudders, or to either side are a series of levers, so you can call on more thrust from one turbine or another in order to help position the ship and turn it against the gravity fields. And currently he's got all the levers to the right hand side pulled at full throttle, and the other one's in full reverse, but the ship does not appear to be receiving the signal and is not turning, and it's just sort of locked in place, and you can hear sort of the metal hull of the ship beginning to creak and twist in the gravity well. In this moment, do you try and catch his attention, or what are you doing?
My safety is important to me. So I think I just kind of stand like in the vicinity and like watch him do his thing and try not to be too distracting. Like I just kind of try to fade into the shadows a little bit, but I'm super nervous. Like I'm a plant person and I really enjoy being on solid ground, and right now I'm not, and that's fine. But it's a little intense for me.
There are a few places within the wheelhouse of the bridge where you can actually there are holes and like bolted to the walls where you can kind of like grab a little handhold and brace yourself against the rocking of the ship.
Awesome.
Which does come all in sporadic thrusts. All right, and at this moment, as everyone rushes off to their various missions on the ship, we are going to take a flashback to 2 days ago. Sultry music plays through the private club. It is a darkened interior where the rich and affluent go for assignations and secret meetings. Striding through the club is our good Bronwyn. She has received a message to meet here from Lord Humphrey Pankhurst. She is directed to his private booth. These booths are adorned with curtains so that the couples can meet in secret without the prying eyes and rumors. Although her purpose is somewhat different. You reach the curtain.
I kind of hesitate a moment before I walk inside, and I look around just to make sure that there's no eyes on me.
Mhm.
I may.
Well,
Which is impossible.
give me a persuasion roll. And you, in this case, you want to fail that roll.
I got a 6.
All right. Okay.
Should I spend a penny to fail?
Yeah, I think it'll be hard. You
Oh, it is.
you
Sorry.
it is hard for you to move. I suppose I could add to that a stealth roll, but if you were sneaking from one dark pool of light to another, but it is hard for you to move through this club unnoticed. You draw many an eye as you cross.
So then I guess I have to be extra ridiculous then. So I kind of like loosen like the top like kind of straps of my corset, and I'm very bosomy, so like I'm real kind of, you know, spilling out a little bit, and I like zhuzh myself up before kind of opening the curtains really ceremoniously. Oh, Lord Pankhurst, it's so nice to see you tonight. How can I help you?
Lord Pankhurst sits there with a cup of tea, and he says, "Yes, Miss Bronwyn, thank you for coming so quickly." He kind of looks nervously out through the curtain, and he says, "Come in, please." Puts his cup and saucer down on the table.
You don't want something a little stronger? And I kind of like put my little finger and rub it around the edge of his teacup as I look at him and like slink into the booth.
He pulls the curtain closed slowly, and once true privacy has been attained, his demeanor changes.
What do you want?
He goes, "I've given you plenty of time. Why is Captain Click still alive?"
Listen, I did my best. All right, I followed him around. I even walked up to him a couple of times. He just, he's slippery, you know, he's a captain. He's always surrounded by people. I've been trying, trust me.
According to the shipping logs, the light of day sets sail in 2 days. I expect to have good news by then.
It's only good news with me, honey. Trust me. Are you sure he's guilty of what you say? You sure he's, you know,
There's a trail of death with this one. And my money's good, is it not?
Yeah, it's pretty good. Can I get I don't know, upgraded suite?
He looks exasperated. He goes, "Will it get me what I want?"
Yeah, it will.
Well then, price is no object then.
All right, I'll see what I can do. You know I don't like flying, but I suppose it's all about getting the job done.
See to it that he doesn't reach his assigned port.
Even if it's at great personal cost to me?
Well, I am sure you're a survivor. You'll find a way to make it through. And if not, well then, makes things cheaper for me.
Can I try to pickpocket him as I leave?
You may, but we're not going to continue the scene any further.
Yes, but no.
You can say you pickpocketed him.
Give me a thievery check. And
Oh my god.
3 minus, was it? Why did you get a -1 on that? That's what I want to know.
Because
I don't know.
Because the GM said no.
I see why. I see
What
why.
happened?
According to this,
Karma.
You are under strength for the you're getting a penalty from your corset, which is silly. I'm gonna fix that.
That is
I
so
can
real
still
though.
thieve
It's
in a
tied too
corset.
tight.
If anything, I'm better at thievery at the corset.
it makes
it was
sense.
the arm. It was giving you the armor penalty. The bonus was giving you a penalty too because you didn't have a high enough strength for the armor.
They didn't have
Oh,
But
Sorry.
for a leather vest / corset, that should not be kicking. So I fixed it there. That would be so. That would still be only 3s that you roll. There still wouldn't be successes.
so I thought I rolled
You rolled a 3 and a 3.
a 3 and a 3.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm gonna die on this hill.
Okay. All right.
I
Hey,
agree.
there you go.
Hmm.
That is a 4. That is a success. And we cut back to the bridge where you have the papers that you pickpocketed from Lord Pankhurst, still tucked away in your corsetry there. You pull them out and take a look at them. And it's a list of various arcane objects which Lord Pankhurst has been attempting to acquire on the black market.
It's very valuable information. It's always good to have a backup plan.
Cutting back to elsewhere in the ship, Zeth, you head down to the boiler room. Was anybody with you, or are you going there by yourself?
Well, Zeth definitely took off by himself, so I'll leave it
Yeah.
up to the others if they came with him.
Iris, did you follow the mechanic, or did you go somewhere else?
I think Iris is trying to weigh out the taking care of the ship with getting the thing that she still wants to get. So she might take a quick detour back towards the vault.
Well, the vault would be another floor down, so you have to go.
Okay. If it's that far, she'll
Actually,
be frustrated.
Why don't I bring up the cutaway here? You guys can all see the general layout of the ship here. Flick is up here in the wheelhouse, along with Bronwyn. Zeth, you're definitely heading over to the boiler room. You basically have to. I'll put you here in the stairwell, just outside the boiler room, and then I'm not sure where Hester. Where were you going to be in all of this? Heading up to the bridge?
I am gonna head up to the bridge.
Okay, so we'll put you up there, which means Corin, you were sticking close to her?
Yes.
All right. All right, so Zeth, you come stumbling into the boiler room. And you see the boiler room is the room just before the actual engine room where all the fire and the fury of the boilers gets turned into torque and thrust for the ship itself. In the boiler room, there's a bunch of open furnaces and men who shovel coal and other similar fuels into the boilers, get the engines nice and hot. And as you come stumbling into the room, it's nowhere near as hot as it should be. The boilers are basically on fumes, and you see the 3 or 4 crewmen that are supposed to be down here manning those boilers unconscious on the ground.
Well, what's going on here, mates? Is anyone awake? Are you guys sleeping on the job or what? He'll go directly to the closest and like nudge him with his foot, see if he's like, are they splayed out on the floor in front? Like, how many of them are there? Sorry.
There's 4 of them. There's 4 crew that are manning in the boiler room. They all appear to be unconscious.
Oh gosh. Okay, so like they fell where they were, kind of thing.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay. So then that would be a different reaction. So he probably would have said that at first, like when he saw the first one laying down. But then as soon as he realizes that multiple of them are in trouble, he's like, Uh-oh, what? He takes a sniff in the air just to see if there's maybe some strange gas or something
Give
that
me a
might have
notice roll.
knocked him out. All right. I'd love to do that.
Eris heard him yell all of that stuff, and she'll
Yeah.
follow in behind him and go, What happened here? Did you knock all these people
Well,
out?
I'm about to try to figure
Oh, hey.
that out. Looks like I got a 4. It
That's
rolled,
weird,
but it
yeah.
didn't give the results.
That is strange. Oh, no, because you clicked it more than. No, that is weird.
I definitely saw an explosion.
Yeah, I definitely thought. Yeah,
Oh.
I saw that as well, but yeah, for some reason it does.
Oh,
But yeah, so I saw you roll at least an 8, and so we know you got at least that, right?
Cool.
So, yeah, so you ace the roll. There's no strange odor other than what is would be smelled here in the boiler room. But so it's not a gas that you would, at least not one with an odor. But what you do spy is come sparking out of one wall of the boiler, and then through the metal and through a few other objects here in the boiler room, and then pass through one of the men, and they jolt and twitch. A small, strange, black wisp of smoke crackling with blue energy.
Well, that's not good. Dude, is it something that Zeth would recognize, or is this an oddity
this
to
is
him?
This is an oddity. You've worked in this boiler room and in the engine rooms adjacent on this ship for many years and other ships. You have never seen something like this. Another one seems to seep up through the floorboards of the boiler room from the depths below. Crackling with blue electricity.
I see this.
Yes.
Have you ever seen anything like that before?
Have I? Would I?
Yeah, I mean, you're the only other person here that's not unconscious on the floor. I've never seen anything like it, and you're way older than I am.
Well, it
No.
takes a moment. Give me a moment.
No, this does not look familiar at all.
He kind of turns around and thinks for a little bit. Oh, I haven't seen anything like this before, and I find that quite fascinating, but also it seems quite dangerous.
The
Maybe we
crackling,
should step back.
the crackling tinny voice of Captain Click calls out from the wall-mounted pipe speaker. Any luck down there? Still not getting any thrust on the turbines. What's going on?
I'm working on it, Captain, but it seems that our boiler mates have been knocked unconscious, and there's some strange blue glowy thing happening down here. I might need some help. And Zeth is gonna go to the closest mate, and then and then he's gonna try to he shakes violently as the ship rumbles, and he's gonna try to pull the first guy like out of the room, thinking that maybe they're still in danger, if he can.
As you begin to move them, they groggily begin to stir. It just appears like it is they've just been sort of knocked senseless by something. All it might take is just a little bit of slapping them awake to get them back on their feet. There's another creaking and snapping in the distance, and the entire ship rocks again. We're going to cut back, and we're going to cut to another moment in time. Not 2 days ago, but 2 weeks ago. Hester, you run through the darkened city streets. You're hunted at every shadow, pursued at every turn by Agent Perch. You don't know what person you see is friend or foe, but you've been led to a member of an underground community who aids people like you. You're not sure if you can trust them, but they may be your only hope. You come sliding into the small shop that sells various knickknacks, crystals, and the like. The person looks up from behind the counter and says, "Yes, can I help you?"
Am I alone in the
Oh,
shop with the
Yes,
woman?
it's just you and her.
Okay, I'm gonna steal up to the counter. I think you might be able to help me.
Yes.
I'm meeting someone here. Do you know
Mm,
about that?
meeting someone. You were given a secret word to drop into a conversation.
A secret word, you say?
Yeah.
That's a funny thing, but
Well, let's hear it. I'm going to make you make it up.
Fossil.
I'm sorry?
Do you have the fossil?
Fossil. She looks around and back at you and go, "What sort of fossil are you in the market for, dear?"
Well, I'm a collector of these things, and I have one also with me, something of a sort. Maybe you would recognize it. And I'm going to proffer forth a small amulet that is hanging around my neck. Maybe something like this.
She looks at you and he goes, "Oh, yes. One moment, please." And she reaches over towards the door and throws the lock. He says, "We wouldn't want to be disturbed now, would we?"
It is rare merchandise, I dare say.
He goes, then she nods and goes, "So, dear, on the run, are we?"
I'm afraid so.
"Yes. Well, don't worry about old Baddie can help, that's for sure. I can get you where you need to go. I have a very trustworthy captain that can get you anywhere you need to be. You have an idea, or is it just parts unknown that you're searching for?"
Just out.
All right. Don't worry about it. It will take some time to not in port for another 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
We can find a place for you. And then when he's ready to go, I can make sure you meet up with him and are out into the stars without a hitch. I'd be very interested in helping. She looks down at the amulet. Helping someone like you.
Would be a first.
All right. Yeah. Here's what we need to do. And I'm going to draw that scene to a close as we snap back to the light of day in peril. Meanwhile, back on the light of day in the present time, we last left off the Iris and Zeth. You were trying to waken the crew of the boiler room.
Mhm.
They are now sort of like groggily all come out of their stupor and are getting back on their feet. But in that process, you have seen a couple more of these strange black smoke-like sparks rise and sink back down into the deck of the boiler room, disappearing into parts below.
I would be able to put together reasonably, maybe, that the vault is underneath where we are.
Yes, you would.
Okay. Yeah, she's gonna go down to the vault.
Are you going to tell anybody else? Or are you going down there by yourself?
I think she will walk out the room and turn around and say, "I have an idea," and then she's gonna turn around and go down to the vault.
Okay, so not necessarily tell anyone what that idea is, but merely that you have one.
Yeah. She wants to be the one who comes up with the clever idea. No one can steal it from her.
Okay. Oh. There's more creaking and groaning as you head down the stairs towards it. It's actually the cutaway here is a little imprecise. There's actually a cargo hold that you walk into first before you get to the vault. You've noticed that the historian has disappeared, but the crew of the boiler room is pretty much back on their feet, and after being informed what's going on the outside the hall, they are frantically getting the boilers back up to speed. Zeth,
what happened down here? Zeth is actually helping them get everything back up as quickly as possible, but he's also going to try to figure out what just happened. Like, did anybody see anything? Or
the lead stoker gets not Gregor, sorry, Yorgos. He gets actually on the horn to the wheelhouse and calls up to the captain, and Bart says, "Sorry, Captain, there was some sort of strangeness here in the boiler room. These black smokes, they started appearing all over the boiler room. I thought at first some coals were escaping from the stoking pile or something, but they began to electrocute the crew with galvanic energy. Then the next thing we knew, Zeth was waking us. I don't know what's going on, sir, but we're on it. We should have the boilers back up in just a few moments. But there's something definitely going on, something strange, sir." Up on the wheelhouse, you all hear this. Up there, Corin and Hester and Bronwyn, you hear this coming through the speaker, and the captain's like, "Well, damn it. We got to do something, or this may be the end of the light of day. Whatever's going on, clear it out." And he turns and looks over at you, Corin. "Back them up."
Of course, Captain. Galvanic creations. Haven't dealt with them before, but perhaps today.
I mean, then he turns and looks over at you, Hester, and he goes, "Now might be a good time to earn your spot."
Well, I knew this would cost something. Best be off. Let's go.
All right. So Corin and Hester, you begin to hurry off down towards the cargo holds. Again, the ship rocks and throws you against the hallways as you try and make your way down the stairwell, leaving just the captain and Bronwyn alone in the wheelhouse.
My oh my.
I wish there was something I could do to help.
Are you a skilled sailor?
No. I might be able to help you relax if you let me.
Relax is not really the course of action I'm looking for right now, dear.
I understand. Well, when you're through being all big and tough and strong and saving all of our lives, let me know if I can pay you a little visit.
It's hard to get any sort of reaction off of the Zexiel, and as you know, the Zexiel are quite confused by gender politics. They appear to be a single-gendered race, and they don't really understand attractiveness in one way or another. It's not how they reproduce.
I bow to him to kind of show deference as I kind of like go back to stowing myself into the little compartment I found to stay out of the way and safe. Hoping that'll like communicate to him like deference.
So, Iris, you reach the cargo hold first, and as such, I'm going to hang on. I am going to bring up the battle map.
Uh-oh.
Rear of the ship, which is often this general direction, down the stairs and through the cargo hold. But as you come into the room, you see about 6 of these strange wisps dancing about the cargo hold, moving about in a semi-random pattern, crackling with energy.
I mean, they almost seem like a resource more than an entity. I think she wants to learn and understand what they are.
Mm-hmm.
So with her knowledge of, my thought is that it looks like some form of electricity almost. So some form of maybe energy that could be harmful, but I want to get as close to it as I can and see if I can get any more information or see what it does.
Okay. Which one are you going to approach?
Probably just this one over here that's right by the...
Okay. And when you kind of come up close to it, or do you just examine it from afar?
I get closer to it.
All right. What do you do?
I am trying to look at it. Oh no, where did I put it? I also pull out my... There it is.
Yes, worth the
I don't
wait.
know. I'm kind of impressed.
Yeah.
I like it. I love this screwdriver.
But yes, basically, I want to. I can use however this will work best. But my thought is that she would use her access to the elements to kind of see what it reacts to. So if she kind of sent some air towards it, sent some water towards it, sense of fire, those kinds of things.
Okay. So it's not you're not going to be burning through PowerPoints in order to do this, where you're just sort of like you're just essentially doing a sort of a light cantrip like casting here, where you're just testing the waters of this sort of thing. But what are you going to test it with first?
I'm going to start with water.
Okay. So you kind of like bring up a little tendril of water. All right, so that is a successful casting. You bring up a little tendril of water and you kind of reach out towards it, and almost as it comes with just as it just about to come in contact with the wisp of black smoke, there is an arcing shock that leaps from the smoke and back at you. And it is quite you're actually not quite prepared with how severe it is.
Yes, and I did roll a 5 on that last one. I did not say it.
Uh-oh.
And you are hit with a crackling of energy. It's 9 points of damage would be a wound to you. Shake you and deal a wound, unless you'd like to try and soak it.
I would like to try to soak it. Yes.
Okay.
Rude. Where do I go to do so?
Just make a vigor check.
Okay. I'll just do vigor.
Yeah. In the future, when the damages are probably correctly, that'll it'll be easier to spot. But 3
really?
is not a success.
I'm gonna use a Benny to re-roll that.
All right.
That is fair.
There we go.
There you go. 5 is a success. So you do not take the wound, and you are not shaken by the electrical feedback that has arced from this black smoke, although it does still tingle a bit.
Okay.
And with that, the other wisps all seem to like. It's not like they have faces that can turn and look at your general direction, but you just get you do get a strange, ominous feeling of being watched.
Okay, so I'm essentially starting to feel like there's some kind of sentience here. To these things. Okay, then I will say, Well, it seems that you are aware in some way. So do you have some way to communicate that is not attacking or harming me?
They do not answer. As wisps of crackling black smoke, they provide no additional information.
Well, in this instance, I will assume you just don't have the ability to communicate and not take it as rude. But they don't seem to really be reacting to me outside of that. It's not like they're coming over to attack me.
Not at the moment, but they do just seem to like be passing as they will through the parts of the hull. And as you saw earlier, knocking out random members of the crew.
Yeah. So the stuff that I was trying to find or look.
Pull back your map just a little bit. If you scroll back on your mouse wheel, so you have there is the vault door is right over here.
Okay. I'm going to very cautiously, at least at first, start to go down these stairs. 6.
All right.
If they don't stop me, I suppose I could run. Or no, wait. I'm making this into a combat thing.
Yeah.
Anyway.
That would. I'm going to say, Zeth, did you follow the historian down, or you did not?
Probably not until the boiler was back up.
Okay.
I think he was focused on making sure the ship has the energy to get out of this.
I will say that Corin and Hester, we're going to cut away to the scene, to the boiler room here. The two of you have just come down from the wheelhouse, and you made it to the deck above where the historian is, at the boiler room. And you see Zeth is getting the boiler room up and running again. The crew of the stokers all appear to be conscious once more. And all the black wisps have vanished back into the floorboards at this point, Zeth. And when Corin and Hester arrive.
Okay, so he's cranking on a pipe, or he's whatever he's got to do. He's helping them shovel whatever he needs to do to help the boiler get back on track. Adjusting valves and stuff. And it probably takes him a moment to he might not recognize that they came in. He might be so focused on the machine at the moment.
Zeth.
Oh, hey, Corin. We could probably use a hand if that's why you're here. Hey, where did that historian lady go? She was here a minute ago.
As well, where's the electrical feedback problem you were having?
It was kinda coming up through the floor, but I don't see any of them right now.
The floor?
Yeah, they were these kind of black wispy things with like lightning or something, electricity shooting through them. I never seen nothing like it before, but I think it might have been what knocked these guys out, because when I showed up, they were all taking a snooze.
At this moment, you hear a noise. It seems to echo through the halls of the ship and up through the floor.
That would probably be it.
Yeah, what was that? The light of day don't usually make that kind of noise.
And you're about halfway into the cargo hold, and you can hear that ringing through the walls of the vault, Iris. This strange howling roar.
I will stop where I am and look around at all of these wispy things. See anything about them has changed.
You actually see them sort of like, they're kind of like just kind of meandering randomly about the place. They begin to draw back towards the vault. Drifting.
Okay.
They begin drifting away from you and in that general direction.
Okay, I'm gonna continue to head towards the vault. Just being careful to not make any big movements.
Actually, I'm gonna go all the way back up to the wheelhouse. Bronwyn, you actually hear that strange noise echoing up through the pipes, through the communication pipes, all the way up into the bridge. But here it's become much more distant and tinny, and hard to define.
Oh no, I'm too cute to die like this.
At the same time, you spot these hairline cracks forming in the windows of the bridge, as the creaking and the twisting metal of the hull are beginning to take its tail on the windows themselves. And the captain orders all crew to don goggles and masks. We may be breathing aether for a bit, boys.
I produce this kind of like delicate looking like mask to like put over my big like breathing apparatus thing that they've thrown at me. And I start kind of looking around to see if there's somewhere that I can help. I know that I have to stay away from like the bottom half of the ship, help save my own life.
All right. So if you can tell me what you think you might be able to do to help up here with the controls.
That's my problem. I feel like I'm kind of useless. But I could use my is the steering wheel still jammed?
Well, it's the steering wheel is free moving. The fact of the matter is, but it does sound like the turbines are beginning to build back up to speed, and you can actually feel the ship beginning to pull its weight out of the gravity well, the black hole. Like the captain calls out, like he actually can feel it beginning to move. She's coming back to life, he calls out. But he seems very concerned for the amount of damage the ship has taken so far.
So I would like to use entangle to like throw up a barrier between the glass, like to try to like hold the glass together, just try to kind of like get my vines to.
Excellent.
I have like some sap that starts to kind of ooze, you know.
All right. Yeah. Give me cast that spell. That is not a success.
Good. No, I'm gonna spend a Benny.
All right. You rolled a 7 all day. It's applying a light penalty modifier because of the scene that I have up right now.
Oh, got it. Okay.
But you know, 7.
I'm okay with the 7.
Yeah. 7 is a success, and with that, sort of these fingerlings of vines begin to spread across the glass, and kind of they find the small cracks and kind of help seal off the gases from the outside ether space beginning to leak through, but also find ways to help sort of bind the framework of the wheelhouse together. Cut back down to the cargo bay. The wisps have begun to pull back away from the entrance and towards the vault. And as you can see, the vault door is slightly ajar as you come around the corner of the cargo, and you look off in that general direction. You can see the doorway is open, and something begins moving, squeezing through the open space, half smoke and tendril light. First, you just see a clawed paw reach forward and touch the wood floor of the cargo hold, and then impossibly slowly, for the amount of time it takes you to process the information, a a hound of black smoke and electricity begins to squeeze its way through the narrow gap in the vault and into the cargo hold itself.
Is this what was in the jar?
Its eyes, its skull eyeless, and its tongue, flicking about, barbed on either side, like it's tasting the air for something that it's hunting.
Okay, well, this is not great.
You can just hear this low electrical crackling growl as the thing turns its eyeless gaze in your direction with a slow.
Oh goodness. Well, she's going to kind of take a couple of steps back, and she's going to look at this dog creature, and says, "Oh, listen, I don't want to have to hurt you, but I will. If I must, I will hurt you. So let's try and have maybe a conversation of some sort. Maybe you have a way of communicating, and why don't you just ask what it is that you actually want here, so that I don't have to destroy you is the main part." That's what she's going to do.
Yeah. All right. And with that, we're going to deal cards. I am going to be dealing cards for everyone who's for the other crew members other than Bronwyn. You're all getting dealt into this round, but basically on your cards is when your character enters the battlefield on that card, essentially. Okay. If you want to take any movement after that, it will be at a run. And so the first round, basically, it's going to be poor historian on her own, and whatever you guys can do to get there in time. And the high card goes to Iris with the ace of clubs.
Thank God for that.
Okay.
Could have been worse.
What would you like to do?
Yeah. I would like to I would like to start with my what's it called? With my bolt. So I want to essentially kind of reach back and activate the little mechanism that comes and pops up on my head and starts preparing to shoot a bolt. And I want to add the damage modifier, so spending 2 additional power points.
Okay.
Cool.
All right. So
Super cool.
now click the
13.
Click the raise damage button, which is the one that looks like a D6 a little plus next to it.
Raise damage button.
All right, so that would be 7 points of damage, which will be enough to shake the beast. Are you happy with that?
I'm really not, but it does not feel smart to use this last penny. But
oh, don't worry about that. You got another Benny. What are you talking about? Your last Benny?
Oh, I did. Oh, okay. Yeah, then I'm gonna use this.
Yeah.
And re-roll the damage.
Before you re-roll that oh no, never mind.
I'm sorry.
All right, well that's good enough. That's a 10, which would be a wound.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Get him.
It slams into the hound. I'm not going to try and soak that. That would be sad. It takes a wound. It is a wild card, however. It remains up. And at this moment, we're going to flash back. We're going to cut away and flash back to 2 months ago. In a brightly lit chambers of the Ministry of Record. A much more composed and focused Iris strides quickly through the clockwork fixtures and the fine marbles of the Ministry of Record, stomping her way towards the magistrate that oversees her casework. you're brought into the room. And he looks down upon you from his high-placed location. And he says, well, Miss Fielding, I see. So, you say that you have some complaints about your latest task?
Oh, yes. See, I thought that I was, by this point, being given the most, the most valuable tasks, as you have heard by my previous superior, who did give me just a glowing recommendation to be able to lead my particular team, and to be able to take the most sensitive and important that you would grant me, but you see, in this instance, you have not done that. That has gone to someone else. I have not received the missions and the particular items I would like to go after.
He begins shuffling through papers on his desk and goes, I'm sorry, I seem at a bit of loss here. What exactly were the missions that you were expecting that you would be assigned to?
Well, just I know, because I have heard through the grapevine that there are the very high class or classified missions that you only give to the historians that you trust the most. And well, obviously that is I. So why am I not getting those?
Well, Miss Fielding, I'm sorry, I'm not exactly sure. I mean, I see you say that you were putting in for an order to pursue some Captain Click. Yes, is that right? That you had your eye on this gentleman for something?
Yes. Well, this one in particular seems to be quite tricky and would require a very crafty and skilled historian to go after such.
Yes. Well, actually, I would like to say that we took this pursuit into consideration, and I would like to tell you that you are correct, Miss Fielding, which is why we gave the mission to Horace Langsdale Sothersby. And we would like to thank you very much for bringing these matters to our attention, but we think that your skills would be most applicable to the mission that we provided you with. So, and with that, I'd say we can consider this matter to be at an end. Yes?
I would ask once more if there is any chance for you to reconsider that my skill set just is quite a bit better. This other one doesn't require me to do anything of note. No one will ever know who I am.
Yes, well, all right. So he pulls out a rubber stamp. Stamps kind of rolls in a little ink pad. Stamps the stamp, you can barely make it out, written in reverse. Reconsider. And he stamps the paperwork in front of him. He says, I will certainly forward this to the proper departments. But unfortunately, I believe the purchase orders for the transfer and pursuit of proper paperwork are already been sequestered for Mr. Sothersby. And so he'll be dealing with it for now. And should the Department of Reconciliation find some reason why you should be brought in on the this pursuit, you will be contacted shortly. So thank you very much. Good day.
Yes. Well, yes, thank you for listening. And yes, she kind of just tails off and stands there for a little bit and then eventually turns around. And
as you're standing out there, the doors close behind you with a very solid and resounding, and you feel final thud. And as you stand there, you look off to the left. A small secretary at their desk goes through some paperwork, and you see there on the desk, in the out basket, a manila envelope with the name Sothersby written on it.
She's going to kind of just take a minute to straighten clothing and wait to see if the assistant is looking away at any particular point.
Oh yes, they're quite engrossed in the whatever it is that they're doing. They turn away to the file cabinet to put some things in there. They seem
Right.
completely oblivious to you.
I will start to walk past the desk, just like I'm heading on my way, and just grab that file if I can.
No. Oh yes, sir. I'm not going to ask you to roll for it. You take the vanilla folder, slip it under your arm with all confidence, and we're going to call that scene to an end.
Thank you for watching Valor Studios on YouTube. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, and turn on notifications.
And cut back to the much more dramatic music and location. Wisps sort of begin to drift towards the hound, and as they come into contact with it, you see it sort of shift and become much more solid in form, like it's strengthening its presence within this reality. And one kind of drifts into it, and as it does so, it makes a vigor check. And with a success,
Oh man, exploding.
with a success, the wisp vanishes and the hound recovers from its wounds. It is the hound's turn. On the Jack of Spades, it turns towards you and leaps. Its toothy maw snapping towards you as it does so. And it critically fails. It goes sliding past you and into the as you twist and dive out of the way, and it slams into the crates behind you. And it seems like it's not fully here yet, because the black wisps of smoke sort of explode as the hound sort of almost passes halfway into the crates. And begins to its tail end sticking out of the crates, and its head and upper haunches jammed through the wood, but the wood seems entirely intact. From what you can see, you hear no crunching of wood and no splintering of it, but the hound just seems embedded in it and begins to trying to wrestle its way out. But it's actually going to be shaken by that.
Whew.
And,
Oh.
And on the 8 of hearts, Zeth, you arrive.
So we're investigating this like howl that we all heard, yes?
Yes.
Okay, so apparently Zeth was the first down the stairs. And do I come into so I come into the cargo hold.
Mhm.
I think the first thing he would do is just take a quick look around and see what he can see.
Well, you can hear some sort of commotion coming from in the cargo this general direction here. You can see from your position right there, you don't see much, but you can hear a strange howling, scrabbling noises and arcs of flashing blue light, perhaps often from behind the crates in this general direction.
So
Somewhere over here.
Yeah, Zeth doesn't like the sounds he's hearing, so he is going to cautiously and carefully move forward until he can see what's making the noise.
Well,
So
any
he's-
additional movement would be at a run. You used all your movement to reach this point right here. This is when you enter the cargo hold.
Okay. I follow you.
Yeah. So if you'd like to move any further, it will be a run. You'd be running this round to do so.
So mechanically we'll say he's running, but thematically he's moving in with he's let's say he ran down the stairs into this cargo hold, and then when he hits the doors, he slows his pace, but he keeps moving forward.
Okay, give me a D6 to see how much more movement you can squeeze out this round. So that would be 5 more inches on the board.
Okie dokie. So
and use your WASD keys to move yourself around.
Sure, I'll do that. So he just comes in and over, and since he sort of heard it in this direction, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he just basically gets to the top of these stairs and is just looking out into the cargo hold. And he actually doesn't say anything at this point. Are they behind the crates? Is it possible he would see them?
They're behind some crates. They're about the crates over here are about 6 foot high, and everything that's going on is kind of hidden behind it. You can definitely see some flashes of light in that general direction. You know that something's over there, but you don't see who or what.
Perfect. I'm going to end my turn there.
Yeah. Next to come into the room would be Hester.
I'm on the way, presumably with Corin.
Yeah. He's a little bit slower, so he's coming in last.
That's fair. I am not running yet. I'm keeping pace.
So you're gonna stay there? You're gonna consider that the end of your movement?
Not yet. If I may, I'd like to speak with them a bit. Maybe Corin knows something.
Okay.
You in the business of transporting beasts? Other than me, I mean.
Not particularly. No.
But what about strange blue magic?
Not by fee, of course, but
You have any idea what we're about to walk into?
I can get one.
Well, best that it isn't us first, eh? And I am going to summon an ally.
Okay. You can summon as many of these as you'd like.
Summon the little guy.
So
Send the one. You send the
just
one.
the one?
Snack pack.
3 is not a successful cast, however.
Well, we're gonna spend a Benny because I really don't want to be first
Okay.
of my party. And we are looking at
A 4. That is a
A
successful
4.
cast. All right. So, and with that, your attendant is on the board. Your attendant moves on your action cards, and it will attempt to follow any order that you give it. The shadowy ice-like form coalesces out of the cold air of the cargo hold, and begins to search around on your first. What's your first command for it that you give it?
Go ahead and have a look for us. One of those blue magics. Find
All right.
out what it is.
All right. So since it has just been freshly cast, it has its full movement still, which is 6, and it's going to move. Let's see, up to here. Come down to the edge
upon the danger.
kind of the corridor, and you see it sort of like disappear around some crates. Not sure where it's gone. And Iris, you see this strange, misty figure of ice and fog come wisping around the corner of the crates, looking first at you and then down at the hound, half in the crates beside you. But it doesn't really have a chance to do much of any. Well, I mean, let's see from here. Let's see. Did it have enough?
Battle of the wispy blue element.
Yeah, it is it's enough chance to move adjacent, and it can actually try and attack the hound.
So I can't see what's happening because of these crates. is there any channel of communication between us that allows me to know that it has found something? That maybe
There
I
is a
couldn't
way
see?
for you to do that, but it requires additional PowerPoints during casting, where you can mind link and see through your allies' eyes and hear through its ears and all that sort of stuff. But that's a spell modifier you have to deal with before you cast it.
I
But you
told it to
actually
go for it,
listen and you can actually you hear the sound of its icy claw as it attempts to tear through the hound.
I will have that. That's enough for me.
Ice claws. It rakes at the thing, but unfortunately doesn't hit. And Corin, so that would be the end of Esther's turn. And Corin, you go next. You arrive beside her.
As Corin paces up with walking stick in hand, they raise up their lantern the other, and that smote of flame returns once more. I'm gonna look around, seeing nothing right now other than the sounds.
Oh, where in all the darkness did they go?
Is there like a flash of light from these electric?
There's a general blue glow from over the direction of the crates where this is going on.
I think they're over that way.
So I'll stem that. He's not going to take up the lantern. He's going to pull out his rifle. And he's going to start dashing. His dash isn't great.
No, it isn't. It is, I believe, a D4. One.
That kind of night.
You can move one extra, this round.
All right. He takes one long step.
Okay. He's very deliberate.
He's asserting dominance over this room. What's going on in here? He aims at his rifle as he's looking around, but he's just sort of looking through the scope right now. He can't spot anything except for that wispy mist that moves around the corner.
All right. So that's it?
Certainly.
All right. End of the round. Fresh round. Everybody's going to get a good go. Meanwhile, I'm going to deal Bronwyn in, giving her a card, but on her cards, I'm just going to switch scenes back to what's going on up on the deck, basically.
Okay.
And so that you're not just sitting here during this fight down here.
I'm in my mind, I'm up there going, hold! And I have my arms out and I'm doing like some real Tobey Maguire in between two trains, Spider-Man thing, but opposite, you know?
All right. Fresh round. The Shadow Wisps. The Shadow Wisps basically they are awaiting their master's howl. There isn't much else for them to do. Iris, you get the next high card.
Oh boy, this thing is like right here.
Yes, but it's shaken at the moment, which in Savage Worlds combat means you could actually you can move away from it without it getting an attack on you. Just as a reminder, a shake. If you much like in other games, say that use D20s, moving away from a creature in combat is risky. Moving away from a creature in Savage Worlds is also opening yourself up to an attack, unless that creature is shaken, which this is.
I would like to pull out my little spidery guy with all the vials and lower. I want to see if I can lower a trait. Which trait should I lower? Can I lower rating?
You lower what?
Fighting?
Fighting? Yes, you can.
Nice.
All right.
Oh, cool.
Is 5 a success?
5 is a success. And it is now, as you see, it is now marked to remind me that it has got a
That's cool.
And I'm going to then walk, kind of get away from it.
okay.
Yeah, I guess I'll go this way. Safety's sake.
You're lowering its fighting. That was a basic success, so you're lowering its fighting from a D8 to a D6
Wow. Okay.
for the next 5 rounds.
Oof.
And you move away, which also means its parry drops down as well. Anything else that you're gonna? That was all. You call out. You say anything. As you pull back to there, you actually see other members of the crew there on the have just entered into the cargo hull. They're
Oh,
if I
there
see
you
them.
are.
What took you so long? There's some sort of beast that has electricity and smoke, and it's attacking me.
Beast? Where did
Yes.
that come from?
Seems to have come from the vault.
the mention of the vault. Koren becomes concerned.
Yeah.
Koren knows about the vault.
Oh.
He just mutters
Alright.
under his breath.
The vault.
Next up in the round is Hester. Hester, so you have your own actions now, and whatever you command your. Which would you like to happen first?
Well, first, because I'm next to Koren, I would like to side eye and just say, the vault.
Don't worry about it for now.
Feels like I should worry about it. Anything we should know?
These rounds are 6 seconds long.
All right. Well, I know that Koren knows, so I'm not going in there. I'm just going to instruct the assistant to continue the attack on whatever it has behind the crate.
Okay, is that it?
That's it.
You can take your own actions as well.
Well, I would maybe need to know what that is first before I wander in there, and I know Koren knows, and I don't, so I'm not having it.
Okay, all right. So your ally takes another swing at the creature. So make sure I have it targeted. Boom and roll. Nope, it misses.
Oh.
Yeah, the assistants the attendants are not necessarily fantastic combatants. They're more like
Little
survival.
helpers.
Basically, this first level casting of Summon Ally, it's rolling D4s for most things.
It's a distraction.
The next level up, it's D6s.
Well, at least
Doing
something's
its
playing
best.
with the mystery.
Yeah, it's tying things up at least. It takes
I'll
a few
take it.
swipes, but doesn't really connect.
That's
Yeah.
not gonna last very long. You better share what you know.
And that is round 2 of the creature, right? So let's put a little marker here. Keep track of it. Bronwyn, you're quick. It will snap back to where you are up in the wheelhouse now. The captain calls out to he sees what you've done with the vines and calls out to another crack, this time appearing in the superstructure, not in the windows, but in the actual metal hull portion. And he says, I don't know if you're strong enough for this, and I don't want to ask too much of you. If you're going to stay up here, though, you're going to have to pull your weight. And he points to the crack. Otherwise, I'd send you I'd send you at least out of here. I don't want to be responsible for what could happen.
I I can pull my weight. Let me just try it. So I think I'm going to try the same thing. I have very interpersonally important magic, and then I've got entangle. So I'm going to do that.
Okay. That is a successful cast.
Whew.
All right. So describe what happens.
So I like put my hand on like the pipe that is like right above the area he's showing me, and I kind of just like focus and concentrate all of my power like into the cracks of into like the crack of this pipe, and I will it kind of like to snake downward, and then like into like the like where the gap is in the hull, and I just kind of try to like fill it up with like this like kind of length of vine kind of wrapping over and over and over again, and kind of tangling it up in there to hopefully kind of start pushing like the metal that's kind of like popped kind of inward like out again, and see if I can repair it from the inside out.
All right. This it works. Yeah, you're sealing up another crack. You can see like some of the strange colored aether gases being leak into the room for a moment as you're working, but with as the vines tighten and then seal the gap, the smoke dissipates.
There's like a little like bit of like amber colored sap like running down my cheek because I'm sweating a little bit. I'm fine. Thank you for asking.
The hound first attempts to unshake. And it critically fails trying to unshake. It is still stuck in the crates. It gets no action this round. This is one cursed hound.
That's awesome.
Yes. It's because I'm here.
Zeth, you're up.
Well, what's going on down there? What did you do? He's saying to the historian.
Oh, to me? I didn't do anything except to make things better because this thing started attacking me and I've made it weaker and I did some damage to it. At least I think I did. Oh, you're welcome.
What thing is
told you,
that?
I warned it.
All right.
It just bellows in rage.
Yes. Not intelligent, I suppose. I don't know.
Well, that sounds like a threat. I am going to run again. So rolling my pace.
One more.
One better than none. Can I go on a diagonal one, or do I have to?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So there we go, and that's it. I'm done.
All right. So yeah, you get a little bit closer, but not close enough for a melee attack. You got anything ranged?
Not.
I know you don't, but I'm just asking.
Nope, I'm done.
I'm just making conversation. All right, moving on.
All right.
Corin, what are you doing?
So there's a sort of heated to cool look between him and Hester as Zeth moves away.
It's where our secrets are kept. I'm sure you know how much that is of import.
Idea.
And we're going to flash back, actually, now to 2 years ago. You stand on the docks of some distant skyport in conversation with Captain Click. Corin, it's good to see you again. My old advisor, my trusted family. What was so important that you needed to meet me here? You looking to sign? Are you looking for passage home?
Not home, but somewhere else. the same spot you're looking.
But my friend Corinne, your age. It is not time for you to head back and tell your tale.
It's not time. Not yet.
You press your luck, my cousin.
If I head back now, I'm not pressing any luck. There's no chance for me. Or my kin.
This is a risk, My work is not safe.
All the better. A grand story needs risk. That's what he's been telling me.
And
I
he
see.
holds his lamp in hand. As he holds the lamp in hand, the flame flickers ever gently. There's a light wisp that... My cat.
Oh, no, there's just a cat on the docks. Don't worry about it.
Of course. A wisp ever gently floats around Karen, and I'm uncertain. Does Karen see it alone, or can other people see the spirits?
No. When you're using your PowerPoints to manifest an effect, it is visual. It in many cases, but if you're just having a conversation, it's something that's only with you and you alone.
All right.
But the people at home can see it.
Certainly. Nearby, sort of hidden behind and swirling around this Zexel, is another Zexel. They seem younger, battle-sworn, scarred, though spirit in form and of singular color, a sort of nebulous bluish-white wisp. As they float nearby him, he gazes wistfully towards them.
I have a long journey ahead. Much longer than the life of one of us.
Captain's antennae twitch in a sign of understanding. He goes, I would not refuse you this request, though it hurts my heart to see that you feel that your works so far would not be enough. You have lived a long life, and there is nothing to be ashamed of. But I would be proud to have you serve upon my crew.
Thank you.
Let me tell you about what I'm really doing. And we're going to cut out there, back to the fight below, and we return to the scene here. Were you taking any other taking action this round, right?
Yes. I'm going to start moving, or Karen is going to start moving along the high beams above.
Okay. Across the walk, right? Okay.
Yes.
All right. So yeah, you move out of there onto the gangplank.
Okay. He's going to just aim his rifle at the intersection where Iris just poked out from.
Okay.
I think that's it.
Yep. And just okay. And then start of the new round. We're gonna go with the cards that are already dealt. Zeth, you get the black joker.
Yes. So we all get a Benny, right?
Yep. You all got a Benny.
So Zeth is a cautious person by nature, but when he perceives someone being threatened, he can't help himself. And so hearing this, like, whatever this creature is roaring and seeing Iris sort of hastily retreating towards us, saying that there's some kind of a beast around there, he is going to blaze around. Normally he would take his time, but this time he's going to blaze around the corner. So he will move to, I think it is here, and then basically he's gonna run past the little ghost minion there, sees this creature and says, why do I always have to take care of everything on this ship? And he pulls out this huge wrench and is gonna try to clobber this thing. Actually, maybe I'm gonna try to do my horns. Can I do my horns and the wrench?
It would be 2 separate actions, so you get a penalty, but you can do both. Yes.
Yeah, why not? So let's do the multi.
All right. So make sure you have him targeted first.
I mean, you're on a Joker, so wouldn't that be striking
Yeah.
it even?
It'll actually offset the benefit you get from the joke.
Okay. So all right, here we go.
Yeah,
Rolling right now.
All right.
Come on,
so
baby.
Horns. That's a 2.
Arg. Oh wait,
Are
so
you
it
happy
didn't
with the
give me
2?
the +2 because of the Joker?
Let's see. Yeah, that's weird. It should be a 4. Yeah, well, that should be a success. No, hang on. The 4, a 4, even a 4 wouldn't have been a success.
Okay.
It is weird that it didn't give you the bonus for the Joker, but yeah. So, but his parry is still higher than 4.
Should I have clicked something else? It would. Okay, I see. But should I have clicked something else?
It may have been
So
because of the weirdness with the rounds and going back and forth. So,
alrighty.
um,
So then I'm gonna try to also.
I can do the math in my head. Don't worry about it.
Of course. So he runs around the corner. He tries to kind of gore the thing with one of his horns. That misses. And in the same motion, he's gonna actually kind of like spin around with his wrench and try to clobber with this thing. So here, let's try this.
All right. I can also adjust for it on the fly if need be. All right. So that thing you got a
So it
plus
should
2
be a
minus 2.
5.
No, you got a +2 from the.
Oh, it did
No,
roll. Okay, so
It did, but you got a -2 because of the because of this
Dang it.
multi-action.
It's another 3.
So-
I'm gonna Benny.
So-
What the heck?
Yeah, there we go. What you can do in the future is just click the re-roll with Benny. So to click on the free re-roll.
Oh, I
there.
see it. I see it. I'll do that. Hey,
Yeah.
there we go.
All right,
Exploding
there.
dice.
That is
so that's better.
that is an 8, which is a hit with a raise against your target.
Fabulous. All right, so
All
now
right,
we're
so
gonna
just
do
click the raise damage button.
Raise damage. Oh, there we go. Another
All
explosion.
right, and that is
16
2 wounds as the
damage.
Nice.
as the wrench comes smack down onto this strange mist-born shadow hound, and it cries out in pain once again.
Fabulous. That was a good round. I'm done.
Bronwyn, meanwhile, back at on the wheelhouse, the captain. You can feel the whole of the ship begin to shudder violently and shake again. And the captain tightens his claws on the wheel. And he looks to the other people at the bridge and he says, "Boys, it's been good to know you."
What?
He says,
Are we gonna die?
he turns and looks back and he says, "I'm going to ask you all to leave the bridge."
Captain, are you sure I can't? There's not something else I could patch up for you? Or nothing?
Cutting back to the fight down below. Iris, you're up.
We're gonna die, y'all.
Let's see here.
He'll add one thing. He turns to the largest crewman. He says, "Escort her off and close the door behind you."
Does he like fireman carry me or something?
Yeah. One of the crew looks at the captain like he's going to object, but he takes his order and moves towards you. Carry you off the bridge.
So before he can get me, I kind of like strike this pose, and like a little dagger kind of pops out of my wristlet. And I look up at him and I go, "It's all right. I can remove myself." And I just kind of like scuttle out the door, kind of staring at him like.
Most of the bridge crew leave with you.
I still lurk like right outside just in case he calls again.
Yeah. All right, now back down to Iris.
I'm gonna move over here and shoot off another bolt at this guy.
I don't know why I try.
Oh,
Yes.
Yeah, that is a hit and
11.
raise. Roll damage.
All right.
Yeah, we go.
Ooh.
Oh, yes.
10, what is that? 11 as well for damage.
That'd be another
Yep.
wound on this thing,
13, I think.
which
yeah.
which is 3 wounds. It is technically it is still technically on its last legs here. As a wild card creature, it can it takes 1 more to incapacitate, but it is severely injured. And it's its chance to go. First, it tries to unshake.
Oh.
Boo.
It unshakes. It's going to turn on Zeth, who just cracked it super hard with that wrench and
Makes
dealing
sense.
2 wounds.
This might hurt.
And it rolls, because of its wounds, a 0. A double 0. I'm going to spend 1 of my bennies.
Yeah,
Why not?
of course.
4. Nope, not going to work. Not going to happen. It claws at, it snaps at you, but it is injured and it's incorporeal, almost like it's you can see it like tearing apart, like it's like it's strange. It's like the beast is, all the parts are where they're supposed to be, but there are fissures that run through it, like that, where there's nothing, like pieces of it are no longer here in this reality. Like it's broken into shards and parts are missing.
Hey now, little doggy, none of that.
Corin,
Just
you're up.
dodges out of the way.
Corin is going to continue along this gangplank.
Yeah. I will say you have a shot here. The crates, these crates here are much. This crate is pretty high and provides a lot of cover from the doorway, but these over here are lower, and the beast is large enough that you can actually see its back here. At this point, so I would give it like a partial cover, so -2 on the shot, essentially.
Okay. So Corin's going to finally raise the rifle, seeing this between the 2 of them,
That must be it.
and he's going to fire out. I'm going to, I can't use marksman for this, so I'm just going to fire.
5 would hit, but the -2 would make that a 3.
Yeesh, yeesh. I'll use a Benny.
All right,
Thank you.
no problem. Still a 5.
I'm going to use the Benny.
All right.
Yep.
Take it down.
6 -2 is a 4, which will be a shot in there. There we go. We're gonna roll again. Oh, no, there you go. Roll damage. There we go. Yeah, that is
piercing
another
2.
wound. And with
11. Yep.
Yeah. And your shot rings out from your long rifle, and with it, the thing just seems to evaporate in these tendrils of smoke and mist and crackling electricity. All of the cargo hold begins to fall silent. The wisps that had been dancing around in the background also seem to evaporate at almost the same time. The cargo hold, other than the creaking and groaning of the metal in the cargo hold, everything seems to fall silent. And you turn to look at each other. Bronwyn, you're outside the bridge, and you can hear the structure snap. You can see your vine work barely able to hold together, begins ripping and tearing and shredding. But you also feel the same time the ship seemed to break free of the gravity well, the black hole, and veer finally out of its iron grip. But as you look back through the porthole, the window and the roof of the wheelhouse are gone. And so is Captain Click. We cut to the last flashback of the night. 2 decades ago. We cut to another ship. Also in the heat of a terrible battle. Cannons fire off in the distance. There's a thundering roar of combat. And one small Hakaran child runs frantically from station to station. The gunnery boy and sometimes assistant to the crew, searching for, amongst the wounded, looking for some orders about what it should be doing next. Frantic, and there's an explosion and a tear of shrapnel, and you can feel it cut into your side, Zeph. And you're getting woozy, and your vision's going blurry. And in the halo of the fading light, you hear a voice go, "Zeth, my boy."
Yeah?
Come with me. A Zexial clawed hand reaches out. It's the bosun's mate, Click. Not a captain, just a young sailor serving aboard the same ship as you. Pulls you from the wreckage of a fallen beam in flames. He says, "Come. I'll keep you safe."
Okay. I think I got hurt.
Yeah, but don't look, son. We'll get you taken care of and get you patched right up. Now, come on.
Okay.
And the two of you stumble together arm in arm through the black and smoke.
What about the others? Shouldn't we be helping the others?
Each thing in its own time, son. Each thing
Okay.
in its own time. And that's where we're going to call the game for the night.
Yeah.
Flashbacks were great.
Yeah.
Farewell, dear captain.
Listen, my job is so much easier. I couldn't be more thrilled. This is a great game for me.
Thank you for tuning in, folks. I have been Cheyenne Wright, your narrator. Been Axion episode 2, Eye of the Storm. We're going to go quickly around the table here and say hello to all our fine performers this night. You can introduce yourself and tell us what other cool stuff you guys are into. And we're going to start off with, we're going to go in the order of rounds combat. So we're going to start off with Zeth. Who are you?
I am Gregory. You can find me on YouTube, 1N20 D&D. I do all kinds of fun stuff there. And of course, here with Valor Studios, I love doing this thing. And this coming Monday, well, who knows when it's going to release? On Twitch, it's going to be this coming Monday for us, but we're recording this, so it might be
through the powers of time and space. So you can go back and watch it later.
What you should do is check out the Valor Studios VODs also on YouTube, and you'll be able to see us there on Rolling Bones. I'm going to be with a couple of these awesome people here. We're going to be talking about this show, and I'm looking forward to that as much as I can, because I love when I'm not playing games, I love talking about games. So, it's a win-win for me.
All right. Next, Bronwyn, who are you?
Hi, everybody. Candace the Magnificent. Pronoun she, they. Thank you so much for joining us. It's been super fun. You can find me at Candace the Magnificent on YouTube, Instagram, and Twitch, and at that Candace Girl on Twitter. I am doing kinds of things. Usually on Friday nights, you can find me performing ukulele covers on my Twitch channel. You can also find me at Valor Studios. I've done quite a bit of work with them. And then if you look up at Todd Moonbounce, you can also find me in some of his actual plays and short series as well. This month, we will have Masks coming out soon, as well as some other that I'll be on Carrie Smith's channel. So please definitely take a check out of all of those things. And if you like ice cream reviews, go to my YouTube. I should have, hopefully, more ice cream videos up by the time this goes live.
Next up, Iris.
Hi.
You?
I'm Megan Caves, and you can find me at Megan Caves, MEGHANCAVES, on Twitter and Instagram. And you can also find a lot of the things I'm doing at my production company page, which is the production company is Gone Rogue Entertainment. We are Gone Rogue ENT on the social medias. And we just wrapped season 2 of my show Harbingers. This season was Cyberpunk. The first season was Witches. The next season has been announced, and it is Hell on Earth, Deadlands Hell on Earth. So, which is what it's been all along, but the cast or the audience didn't know.
Yeah,
So-
I've been super excited about that. I had my theories of what was going on there. You know.
Yeah, I loved dropping those clues. It was fun.
I actually tell you my Hell on Earth stories. I ran the whole campaign beginning to end many years ago in classic Deadlands, which is a nightmare to run. But yeah.
Wow. Oh, that's really cool. Yeah, so you can check that out on our YouTube. Follow us on the Twitters, and I think it'll still be happening when this comes out. I'm doing Ladies of Lake, which is Lasers and Liches D&D. It's 1980s girl rock band who get thrown into Arthurian fantasy. So yeah, it should be wild.
Awesome.
That starts this Friday, Friday. I'm correct. Starts on Friday, and we'll be continuing for 6 weeks. So it'll probably be happening. I think that's all. Well, tomorrow I'm also on Deadlands Noir on Todd Moodmouth's channel. Yeah, that's tomorrow. So go back and watch that.
That game has some nice art in it.
Oh yeah,
Sure do.
Next up, we got Koren. Who are you?
I play. I am Kairoche. You can find me at Real Kairoche. Would you believe it? On Twitter as well. You can find me on Fridays playing in Roll for Chaos's Aether and Steamworks Delinquents, playing Captain Lethe Ariane, Space Badass, and Samurai. Also, they're the same thing, but double
Kind of redundant.
Extra. But that's where you can find me.
And last but certainly not least, Hester. Who are you?
Oh, I'm Taylor. You can find me on the Twitter where we all live for reals. At Tay Funbillion. That's my name. I bet you can't spell it. That's okay. Nobody can. TayvanBiljon. Yeah, it's a J, not a Y. Surprise.
How do you pronounce that?
Funbillion.
Funbillion. Huh.
Yeah, the V is an F. The J is a Y.
Yeah,
Close.
yeah. I always read it on Twitter as Van Billion.
Yeah.
That's
same.
super close. That's super close. And technically, if you're doing it like English, it would be. But like the actual, it's V is an F. Switched.
Okay.
But I think everybody else really says it that way. Either way, however you want to say it is fine, because let me tell you, I hear it a lot of different ways. Whoa, where do I live?
I'm a boy named
Twitter.
Cheyenne. I'm not going to argue with you.
I hear it. I picked this name. I'm not sure why I did. No, just kidding. But I had a much easier name once, and then I did this to myself, and here we are. So, at least you didn't get to pick, but I did, and I still did this to myself, and I did a couple other things to myself, too, and those things are a whole mess of things that are on VOD. So you can watch it whatever you want. You can watch stuff on Valor Studios where I play a whole different thing. You can watch Mörkberg on Dragon's Duel. It's 3 a.m. here, people. I'm about to
I'm
die.
sorry.
No, you're good. I'm trying to make my brain do one last thing today. This is gonna be it. Everybody buckle up. Dragon's Duel, Mörkberg, where I play kind of like a dead person, but not a dead person, but the only living vessel of a dead god that's in me that can only speak to me, but I make everybody else hear it because I repeat it all the whole time. Very weird,
Oh,
very scary.
that old racket again? No, it's right up there with You Meet in a Tavern.
Yep. Well,
which I'll admit was how I started the first episode of this game.
well, it's fair. That is the supplemental class of Mörkberg. So if you want to play it, somebody else made it. It's not in the book. Go look for it. It's on their website. You can be that too. But what else do I do? I'm on Running Fey Wild every other Wednesday, which is live. So if you want to see that, you're gonna have to come look at us for reals. But I guess that's on VOD too. And there's a couple other random things that are floating out in the world. There's a pirate thing that's about to happen. I don't even know if I'm allowed to talk about that, but I already did. Too late. And every day of the week forever until the end of time is Backwater Bastards, the world's greatest best friend adventure story. Sci-fi as hell. It's a podcast, so you can listen to it anywhere, anytime, any place. Maybe don't do it at work or in front of your kids. We say some questionable stuff. We have very gray moral compasses. Oh my God. Don't play it for your grandma. But it's phenomenal. It's Grace and Frankie in space if they had bombs.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the best. So listen.
We're putting
to
asses in seats here.
Hell yeah.
We are.
I mean, we don't do traditional combat. We go to diners, and our rounds are if we can eat all this food. So, and we
Okay.
cold open each episode. So, come for the cold open, baby. They are airtight. So, yeah, that's me. Whoa. And I'll be here again because we're going to do
All
more.
right. Yeah, there's 2 more episodes of this coming your way. Tune in next week to see the rest. And with this, I'll hand it back to Gregory, who's going to take us out and say all the Valor Studios junk for me.
Sure. Yes, thank you. We are Valor Studios. We are a TTRPG content creation community who loves sharing our stories with the world. Thank you for joining us. If you like what you see tonight, please subscribe. And of course, our Twitch and YouTube, both of those, that's where you're going to find us. You can find out all the information about what we're doing, what's coming up, and so forth on valorstudios.com. And that's VALORE studios.com. You can also join our Discord, which you should see a link for either in the chat if you're watching this live or below the video on YouTube, as well as you can find our content. Again, on YouTube, there's playlists. There's a whole list of cool things to find. We invite you to enjoy that if you are not watching this live. And last but not least, if you are joining us from YouTube, make sure you go check out our Twitch. So, as we like to say here at Valor Studios, love yourselves, love each other, and let's make this world a better place together, everybody. Thanks for joining us.